Good evening and welcome to the National Conspirator. I'm your host, Chad Bowery. If you're a returning listener, you know what we do here, and you're a good-hearted, red-blooded American here in search of the truth. If you're tuning in for the first time, what we do is we peel back the veneer of lies that are layered on, caked on by the establishment, and we hold up a mirror to society to show them what it really looks like to be us. Joined by Vadim Sellers.
Yes, Chad, yep, still here, still locked in, hashtag with you, yeah, or whatever it is. Hashtag blah blah, whatever propaganda bullshit.
We're all in this together.
Yeah, whatever, pal. Yeah. I'm cutting and running as soon as I possibly can. I'm not trying to have the KGB sneak over here, and my head will be upside down on like a pancake, like a fat, pig's-headed, weird, bloody. It's not pretty.
Well, it wouldn't be all that bad, now wouldn't it?
No, it would be terrible. That's the worst. That's the worst thing that could happen.
Just literally. Another dead KGB agent.
Yeah. Whatever, pal.
Well, today we've got a really special treat for you guys because with all this COVID stuff going on, there's a lot of weird things happening, and there's one man who's been well, I don't want to say that he's been behind it all, but he's been behind most of it, it seems. We're still peeling back the layers of this onion on none other than the Microsoft founder, Bill Gates, right? And today we're joined by a whistleblower by the name of Kelvin Finnick. Kelvin, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Hey, thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate taking the time to talk with me today.
Well, we appreciate your bravery and your service to this country.
Yes, I'm sure you're going to say some stuff. I think you're kind of kind of a snitch, if I'm being honest. But I'm sure it's probably really helpful and stuff. Kelvin, thanks for talking to us, you little snitch.
Well, it's interesting that you say a snitch because I don't really feel like I'm a snitch as much as I am like a truth-saying social justice warrior bringing the truth to the forefront of the American people's eyes, okay? I've been inside. I've been through the looking glass, I know some truths that would keep you up at night. You would never sleep again. You could take all the NyQuil in the world and you would never sleep again if you knew what I knew. So you might call me a snitch, but I'm just trying to open people's eyes,
Yes,
it is people to see.
It is important work, and we really appreciate everything you're doing there, snitch.
Well,
he's a hero, Vadim.
Yes,
I know you guys don't have heroes in Russia, but here in America, we've got heroes.
Oh, really? Yeah, we got heroes.
And this man, Kelvin, is one of them.
Well, I'm excited to hear your story.
At least to my ear.
We're happy to have you on as pal. Yeah. Chad's gonna ask you the questions because I don't. I mean, I could really make you squeal, but hopefully that doesn't have to happen.
So, Kelvin, my understanding is that you're a former Microsoft programmer. Is that right?
That's right. Yeah, I worked at Microsoft for the better part of God, what was it? Like 20 years?
Wow. And my understanding is you worked pretty intimately with Bill Gates.
Yeah, we worked in different departments, considering he's like the founder of the company and I was just a programmer. But he's the kind of boss that really likes to wander. He really likes to, get into the nooks and crannies of the day-to-day operations and see what's going on. So when I got hired, I didn't think I was ever gonna cross paths with him, and then I think it was like my second day. He was coming around to my cubicle and showing me like old Dilbert cartoons that he had cut out. It was very strange, very eccentric man. I don't think people talk about that enough.
Yeah, nobody really reads Dilbert I mean, that's a red flag right there.
Yeah, that my suspicions were arised right about then because I was like, what? Why are you showing me a Dilbert cartoon? And do you get the paper delivered and you cut it out every morning? You know, it's just the whole thing was fishy.
Yeah.
Of course, he have people cut that cartoon out for him. He not doing it himself. You know, he stab people with needle. They chop out cartoon, and then he give it to you just to annoy you, cause he energy vampire.
Yeah, that's probably true. He would constantly just like hang out by the vending machines, and ask me if I had seen the latest episode of Big Bang Theory, and I was like, I don't watch that show, Bill. Well, I didn't call him Bill; I called him Mr. Gates.
Of course.
And then when I wasn't looking, he would try and prick me with a needle to try and vaccinate me right there. And, I caught him, but who's to know that maybe I didn't catch him all the time.
Yeah. Yeah, he seems to have this undying obsession with vaccinations and trying to make people healthier. What's your take on that, Kelvin?
I'm sorry, can you repeat the question? I was spiraling just now, thinking about maybe getting pinpricked by Bill Gates. I'm sorry, can you repeat the question?
That's okay. Bill Gates seems to have this obsession with vaccinating people. And it's all under the guise of making the world healthier and trying to stop diseases. What is your take on this? Do you buy that mumbo jumbo?
I mean, I want to believe in the goodness of people and that his heart is in the right place. But I will say this, okay? The soap dispensers in the bathrooms at Microsoft, always empty. Just always empty.
Yep. You try to make the world sick, and then you get the vaccinations, and then you make all the vaccinations, 7 billion of them, and distribute for whole world. Yes, that's gonna work like a charm. That's funny.
Not even that, but here, and you'll like this. This is a prime tip here from the quote unquote snitch. But we were working on some new technology in Microsoft actually, which was pretty crazy. It was if he did manage to prick you with the needle to vaccinate you, you wouldn't notice for a while until you got back to your desk and Clippy would show up and go, "Oh, it looks like you've been vaccinated. Can I help you with that?"
You said Clippy?
Yeah, Clippy. From, Clippy.
From like Microsoft
Clippy.
Word?
Exactly. Like when you would be like making a document or writing an essay or something, Clippy would pop up and be like, "Hey, it looks like you're trying to make a resume. Can I help you with that?" What a lot of people don't know about Microsoft is that Clippy is actually a bioengineered, real, cognizant, I don't want to say human.
In presentation.
Yeah, Clippy will be like, "Hey, it looks like you're trying to insert a photo into this document. I can help with that." And then you do it, and then next thing you know, the fonts are all wrong.
It just destroys everything. You work so hard, and now you can't insert the photo. It's so frustrating.
Terrible. It's truly terrible.
Just the worst. Just a comic AI. The first one, just to trip us up and keep us on our toes. Yeah, and then okay, so after that, you get stabbed with the spike by Bill Gates. You go back, Clippy's there.
Yeah.
There's now what happens next? No, you do good work. I appreciate your work.
Well, like I said, thank you, and I'm just trying to bring attention to people's eyes. But you've been vaccinated, and Clippy pops up and he goes, "Hey, it looks like you've been vaccinated. Can I help you?" And you go, "Yeah, sure. My first question is, what have I been vaccinated with or against? I didn't know. Uh, all I know is that I turned my back while my boss was talking about Big Bang Theory, and next thing you know, I'm vaccinated. And so, you go, what have I been vaccinated against? And then Clippy doesn't answer. He breaks down because there's a bug in his coding, which I mean, admittedly, might have been my
might have been
area
your
that
fault.
I should have been an expert in.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I mean, times are tough. But he would, and then it would say email Microsoft for support, and then it's a huge thing. You email them, they tell you to call. You're on hold
You're
for half the
emailing
day.
yourself at that point, aren't you? You're just like, then do you answer the email? How does that work?
Well, that's the thing. You try and answer the email, and it bounces right back to you because you're the one who should be answering it. It's a weird vortex that they've created there, and then you start going crazy, and then you're like, oh no, is this the vaccine? Is that why I'm going crazy?
Oh wow, paranoia strikes deep, doesn't it? Oh my god. Yeah, that's genius actually. Before he created Clippy, Bill Gates used to go and he would hide behind the bushes at Harvard. Actually, how he got kicked out was jumping out the bushes and stabbing people with needles. And he was running around and doing that, but he didn't have Clippy, so it was very easy for him to get caught. So naturally, he tried to be in that really cool fraternity where all the cool comedy writers were in that. I don't remember the name, but all the National Lampoon guys were in there. And they wouldn't let him in. So naturally, the Skulls and Crossbones recruited him like they did with George W. Bush and all the other losers. And then he just dropped out because he couldn't handle the shame. But he also got caught a lot of times, trying to just like a dark figure just sneaking out of the bush, just like a spy versus spy, just stabbing people in the neck with various needles and vaccines.
Well, Mr. Finnick, if it's okay with you, I'd like to open up our phone lines and allow our listeners to have access to you to ask you any questions that they might have. Is that okay with you? Okay. If you'd like to call in and speak to Kelvin, ask him a question, our number is 575-322-8733. Remember, if there's something that they aren't telling you and you know who they are, call us. We'll corroborate it. Now, Kelvin, my understanding is that Bill Gates was not the most hygienic of people. Is that correct?
Absolutely correct. Like I said, he would, the soap dispensers were never full of soap, so you couldn't even wash your hands if you wanted to.
Yeah. And did he have any problems like kind of bathing himself?
I mean, like, I wasn't there when he would go home. I don't know if he bathed himself, but
you're telling me that you never helped Bill Gates bathe himself.
That's exactly what I'm telling you. I never helped, but here's what I did notice is he liked to wear. Sorry, I'm polishing off a Junior Mint.
Are you having a snack on this program, there, Snitchy Poo? Hey, we're not getting any younger here. We got to learn about this so we can go get this fucking guy.
Well, I'm sorry, but I got laid off from Microsoft, so now I don't get to eat on everyone else's schedule. I have to have a snack every now and then to keep my blood sugar up there. But here's the thing. Bill Gates, I never bathed him. Okay, I wasn't there. I don't know. But he would wear the same clothes often, and he smelled terrible. And that was the thing that kind of helped against the vaccinations at Microsoft because you could smell him coming. And you would be like, oh no, that stench is here. Bill's coming and he's gonna. We used to call it a pick and pop, where he would, a prick and pop, where he would prick you with the vaccine. And then he would pop off to the next sucker.
Wow.
Him and Steve Jobs used to run that all the time at Harvard when they were there together.
Mm-hmm.
They'd actually go, break into IBM and do those there. Um, but I'm getting ahead of myself. But
yes, it smelled like a bear that rolled around in trash all afternoon, and ate trout all over its belly. Just a stinky hippie nerd.
Yeah, I mean, well, you just spend hours and hours sitting in a computer chair coding and watching other people code, and you really work up a sweat doing that sort of thing. I imagine is that accurate, Kelvin?
100%, 100%.
It seemed like he's just dirty to bring in more dirt to make people more dirty and sick, so that he can stab them more with Neil.
Mm-hmm. That's it.
How do you work up such a sweat just sitting there? I never understood that.
Well, he doesn't believe in air conditioning. Okay, so he believes in turning the heat on, so that way you really start to sweat, and then you smell even worse. It was a peculiar thing. He was very he was very unhygienic and didn't want his employees to be hygienic either.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay, so here's another little tidbit that's been bouncing around the web, right? This event 201. Are you familiar with this, Kelvin?
No, I don't think I am.
Well, isn't that convenient for a snitch not to know about the event 201?
Yeah.
Are you doing good work, though? We really appreciate you being on the show.
Kelvin, when did you leave Microsoft? How long ago was that?
Well, I guess I was laid off. What's today? The 21st. The 1st. That's when it was. I thought it was an April Fool's, but then they said not an April Fool's.
Mm-hmm.
But to be fair, my cognitive abilities haven't been the best that they have been ever since I got vaccinated by Bill Gates.
Yeah.
Of course not.
What sort of symptoms have you had other than spiraling, as you had said, and kind of the poor memory and really just the poor verbiage that you generally have in the way that you conduct yourself as a speaker?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's all true. Poor verbiage, memory lapse, spiraling. I've lost the ability of most of my motor skills. I don't remember what state I'm actually in. Not just like a state of mind, but like actual state in the Union of the United States. I can't recognize faces. I cannot make eye contact. And I feel an affinity to most birds.
So maybe he had inoculated you with extreme autism, perhaps.
I mean, who's to say? I wish I knew. Clippy was no help, and then I emailed, and it went right back to me.
He might have got jabbed with, like a little bit of, slight dementia, but potentially.
Just a tinge of dementia.
Just a little drop or two,
Yeah, because
just a little bit of that Biden needle,
Yeah, a little bit of Biden in you. Yeah, my understanding is that Gates has just an enormous array, almost like a spice rack, but in each jar is just a different disease that he has that he can prick and pop you with, and it's a sick game for this guy. His whole dream was like, you know what, all I want to do is infect people with diseases and then try to cure those diseases. So in order to get to that point, I'm going to have to invent the personal computer as we know it today and a company around that to access the World Wide Web. It's so convoluted. You're like, this man is a raving maniac. The fact that he had to, become the world's wealthiest man just to prick people with his needles. It's disgusting, frankly.
I mean, the man loved viruses in all forms. So it makes perfect sense to me that he would go from creating, a computers, and then a computer program that was full of viruses, to then bringing them out into analog computers, which of course you and I know as the human brain.
You create the computer and you also create the virus, and then you got to hire John McAfee, crazy son of a bitch, to write the thing so you don't get it sick. It's simple. You play both sides. I mean, this is a classic play. I mean, there's nothing new here. Textbook, 100%. You know, this is how Russia does it.
Yeah, that's how you guys do it. And you know, I just want to go on the record and say, John McAfee, if you're listening, I miss you very much. He's a dear friend. So just shout out to him wherever he's at.
Probably in a jail cell in Jamaica or somewhere. That guy's nuts.
Yeah. He's sweet when you get to know him. He's a nice guy. You know, if you ever get to go bowling with John McAfee, I say do it. It's a wonderful experience.
It sounds weird to me. I think I'll pass there, but we really appreciate it, Snitch, Kelvin, you being on the show and being so forthcoming. You're doing really important work here, blowing the whistle on Bill Gates. We all know he has a dark, sordid past, you know, where his babysitter used to get bribes from the Rockefeller Foundation before that became really the principal generator of the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, sort of the new legacy. And then they just started stabbing people, you know, with HPV and whatever else they could round up, you know, like a shotgun, Tommy gun full of different, you know, weird inoculations, and just going through Africa and India and just launching it off, right? I mean, isn't that? I mean, he left, right? He left Microsoft like what, a few months ago before the 201.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. And now here's the thing. Here's the thing that a lot of people don't know. But we've been systematically trained to deal with these sort of things and to not worry about them. Case in point, you mentioned HPV earlier, and it's wildly held notion that probably most people have it. But here's the thing. If you seem to remember, now this was by Bill Gates's colleague and then rival, Steve Jobs, that iTunes, in conjunction with the band U2, released an album that went straight to everybody's iTunes account.
All right, we're going to come right back to this, Kelvin. We've got a caller on the line. Caller, you're on the National Conspirator.
Oh, hey. Are we talking about Bill Gates?
Yes, we are.
Let me tell you something about Bill Gates that you guys may not know, okay? See, Bill Gates, he owns Microsoft, correct?
Yeah.
That's just like, they're talking about his penis. It's small and little and very soft. Also, let me throw this out there. Huh?
How soft?
Oh, so soft. Like, it's like overcooked pasta soft. Like, you could just squish that thing. Anyway, let me throw this at you. So, get this. So, Bill Gates owns Microsoft. That means everyone with a PC, right? Those are the people that have caught coronavirus. That's where it's coming from. It's from the PCs. Like, I own a Mac. I'm not sick.
Yeah.
So you tell me what's going on, man.
That's true. Kelvin, can you speak to this? The Mac versus. I always knew that Macs were a little bit safer, but I didn't know exactly why.
Here's the thing. It's a PC and Mac. It doesn't matter. You're not safe in either way, because the real culprit here is Wi-Fi. Okay? It's going into your bloodstream. It's going into your nervous system. Okay? It doesn't matter what processor you use. Okay? It's going to be the Wi-Fi. So, personally, I like Macs. I think they're fun. I like Photo Booth. I like iMovie. It's a damned if you do situation, damned if you don't.
But listen, man.
Just go with
what. It's like that saying, man. An apple a day keeps the doctor away. They've been telling us, man. They've been telling us.
Yeah, they have been telling us.
Apple's the way to go.
Yes, this
Who's
caller.
getting sick?
This caller's
PC
right.
users.
Yeah, the PC users are the only ones getting sick, and
That's what I'm saying, bro.
Yep, only the people who have Windows Phone. This caller is right. Snitch, are you working for Apple now? What's going on with you? You a double agent?
Hey, I'm not working for anybody, okay? I'm working for myself, and I'm bringing truth to the American people. If you don't want to hear it, that's fine. I don't even know if they have Wi-Fi in Russia. I imagine they do, but I don't know the strength of it, okay? If you don't want to hear the truths that I'm saying, that's fine. You can turn to Kiss FM or 100.7, whatever the oldies station is that you prefer. But you're tuned into this because you want to hear some truth, okay? So I'm telling
Sounds like
you,
you're getting a little defensive, bro, because you know I've cracked the code.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen through the looking glass. I know the truth.
But it sounds
here,
like
okay?
you've seen through your looking ass, because that's what you're talking out of right now, bro. Apple, bro. Everyone with a PC getting sick. Mark my words. Found the cure.
Well,
come on now.
Kelvin shots across the bow here. He does make a pretty compelling argument about an apple a day.
It rhymes and everything.
Why would they be telling us that, bro?
If it didn't rhyme.
Telling us that. That's been around since like Egyptian times. In the hieroglyphics, bro, there's like a dude eating an apple, and guess what? He's not sick. Okay?
Yeah.
Everyone else, plagues, what? Eating an apple, whatever, safe.
Yeah. Yeah. I think there is something to it. And if you eat all the seeds on the inside of an apple, you can kill yourself as well.
Apple tree
Well,
grow
yeah,
inside
everybody knows
there.
I'm not talking about eating the seeds, bro. I'm talking about eating the apple.
Well,
Look
if our caller is, and thank you again for calling in, but perhaps you could enlighten me then as to the fate of Johnny Appleseed, who we all know went mad from apple insanity and murdered his family.
No, bro. Appleseed did not do that. He planted seeds across this great country of ours, trying to protect
That's how he
us
started.
from the coronavirus.
And then he went mad. He went mad from the
straight,
oil
bro.
on
You
them
don't know what you're
seeds,
talking
like an
about.
old-fashioned haberdashery.
But he looked cute with
Don't
that
be
pot
using
on
big
his head.
words that I don't know, bro.
Whoa.
Habawattery? Come on now.
It's in a book.
You
Look
have
it
a
up. Look,
degree
your time
in
is doomed
whatever
either
you have
way,
a degree
okay?
in.
Well, I'm telling you, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, it's all plastic and computer chips, and it is the Wi-Fi. It doesn't matter if it rhymes,
Bro, who do you
because
work
it's going
for?
to get into
You
your.
have
It's
stock,
already
you have
rotting your
money in
brain. It's
Microsoft or
already.
something?
Oh, your
You
brain
own
is like
stock or something?
a thick applesauce. Put it on a pork chop and just enjoy it.
What are you talking about applesauce, bro? You know what you give people that can't take their medicine? You give them applesauce. Why? Because that's what you need to swallow the pill, bro. The cure. Come on now, apple.
Thank you, caller. Yeah, you make a pretty compelling argument. I appreciate the tip.
I feel like you just got red pilled pretty hard there, by a caller.
Yeah, that's why they call it the red pill, just like apples, bro. They're red. Come on, put the pieces together. I know you're smarter than this, bro. I know you're smarter than this. Come on now.
This guy clearly does not leave his grandmother's basement. He knows what's going on.
Hey, man. Respect my grandmother, okay? She's not sick either. Also has an Apple phone, so you need to back off. Also, she's not that old, and I'm because of the quarantine, I can't get a job right now, bro. Okay, so you need to back off.
I was merely pointing out your astuteness and your dedication to truth.
Oh, well then, namaste.
Sounds good. Thanks for the call. A great job digging that up.
Yeah, thank you, caller.
You're welcome.
Namaste.
Yeah.
Well, Kelvin, you kind of got your ass handed to you on that call.
Pwned, buddy.
I don't know if I did. The guy kept calling me bro, and he's clearly upset because Pac Sun just closed, and he's probably hopped up on like Mountain Dew and Doritos. Okay, you can't base scientific fact on rhymes. Everyone knows that. You know.
All fair points, but Occam's razor, there's a lot of rhymes with that.
Well, I use an electric razor, so I don't think that even matters.
Well, that sounds like something you would do. Just saying.
You don't use an electric razor?
I don't use.
Oh, I forgot you have alopecia. That's right. You're completely hairless.
What? That's not true.
I thought he was just bald.
That's not true.
I thought. No, we all thought you were bald, but it's just alopecia. But that's okay.
No, Chad put Nair in my shampoo bottle, and now I don't have And the hair on my head, my eyebrows, everything. I look like a freaking shiny egg. It's the worst.
You are a freak in a shiny egg.
Oh, whatever, pal. Yeah, you just talking shit because we're on the radio. Wait till we get off here.
Oh, yeah, like you're gonna show me or something.
Oh, I'll show you. Yeah. You'll see.
Well, Kelvin, so I've got a picture that I'm going to share with the listeners here, and my understanding is that there was once an ape that worked at Microsoft with you. His name was Cody, and he was an incredible programmer. And Bill Gates wanted to try to sell him to science. But you said, no, not for sale. Cody is not for sale. He is my friend. He is my coworker, and he is my manager. He is not for sale. Can you tell us a little bit about that whole episode of Bill Gates trying to sell Cody the ape?
Yeah, that was a harrowing experience. I remember Cody's first day. We ate lunch together. He brought a banana and some bugs on a stick, and we just sat together and just laughed all day. And he really shot up the corporate ladder. And I was the one who recommended Cody for the promotion to be my manager. And he was kind. He demanded perfection, but he was fair. And then it was the strangest thing. We found a bunch of traps set up around the cubicles, like you would find in like the jungle or something like that. Like there would be a brush of leaves, but if you stepped on the leaves, then you would fall into a 6-foot pit. Or you would go walking and hit a tripwire, and all of a sudden a giant net would pull you up into the ceiling. And he would try and do that to Cody all the time. Cody was a little smart, though. He could, he was from the jungle, so he could definitely smell that stuff coming. Some of our other colleagues weren't so lucky. We've still never seen Patrick.
Oh God.
Yeah,
that's awful.
So wherever Patrick is, I don't know if you're listening out there, Patrick. Give us a ring. We miss you. But Cody was smart, and I don't know why Bill had it out for this sentient ape.
All right, we're gonna come back to that. We've got another caller calling in here to the station. Caller, you're on the air.
I think I know why.
Hello?
Yes, you're on the National Conspirator.
Yeah, I saw that you're talking about Bill Gates. Are you talking about Bill Henry Gates, the guy in Marietta?
No, I think the Microsoft CEO and mass murderer.
Oh, okay. That's my friend Bill Henry. I thought you were talking about him.
Well, what is Bill Henry? Oh, okay, yeah. Well, there's a lot of Bill Gates out there, and sometimes it's.
Well, his name also William Henry Gates, number 3.
Oh, maybe
hey, caller. Oh, shit.
Oh, well, maybe that was the guy.
And we're clearly talking about Mr. Bill, middle name, and Melinda Gates.
Yeah.
I think they just changed it. But, yeah, it's close enough. The same dude. The dude you work with. The one you were talking about before in the pre-interview. Going into the refrigerator and just like eating people's leftover sandwiches. No regard for human decency, this fucking animal.
Yeah, it's one thing to try to capture and sell to the circus your production manager, Cody. It's another thing to eat your lunch.
Yeah, that was like, where does he get off? Because first things first, Microsoft has a commissary, okay? We can just go down there and get food, but sometimes you bring leftovers, you stick them in the office fridge, right? And so I would do this all the time. And it started out little, like where I would bring some shrimp in, and then I'd be like, is the shrimp missing? I don't know. And so then, I'd bring in shrimp again, and I'd be like, is another shrimp missing? I still didn't know. So finally, I would just start meticulously writing down how much I had in the work fridge, which, got to be time consuming when I started, having an affinity for rice. And I would be like, there are 6,321
I see.
grains of rice.
I'm gonna hold you right
don't
there
touch it.
for just a sec. We've got another caller on
Oh,
the
thank
air.
God. Oh, Jesus, thank God.
Caller, you're on the National Conspirator.
Are you there?
Hello, yes, caller, are you there? You're on the national. You're on air.
My name is Ned, and I heard that Bill got AIDS from the monkey. They had a free relationship, and that's why he was selling the monkey.
Oh my gosh, Kelvin, can you corroborate this? That Bill had a relationship with Cody the ape?
This is the first I've heard of this. I would like to hear more.
Ned, do you have a personal acquaintance with Cody and or Bill Gates?
I don't, but my associate Levin did research and watched. He was paranoid, and he watched them act together, do their thing.
Like he witnessed their relationship blossom.
Yeah.
There's a big industry for underground tapes like that, of orangutans holding hands with him, and them sitting at the party with the birthday hats on, eating cake, having fake tea parties. It's disgusting. And, directed at the right wings,
And then of course they're sharing needles because you got to get vaccinated, and jeez.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. He'd pop out of a cake with a needle in his hand and just boom, right in your butt, right in the keister. Just, yeah, there you go. Measles, mumps, and rubella. Not this time, He's a weirdo.
Well, Ned, thank you for that information. That's definitely something to mull over.
You're welcome, and I'll be trying to get more info, too.
Okay, well, if you get more info, please update us. Thank you so much.
If I didn't hate your country so much, I would applaud the braveness of these patriots calling in today, and even the snitch, for what they are doing for human freedom. Of course, we have no regard for human freedom where I'm from, so it's completely futile. But whatever. I mean, you gotta appreciate the challenge. You gotta the sport of it. It's kind of like the deadliest game, The guy's like, oh, you go run out there because you're so smart as a human, but I got a gun, and it's like the balance is tipped, man. It's not a fair fight.
Now, so if Bill Gates has AIDS, surely he got the cure for Magic Johnson.
I don't. Well, maybe he did. I don't know. I imagine. Yes, I do actually remember. You know what? It's coming back to me now because I remember in the fridge, like I was saying earlier, there one time was a takeout container from Ruby Tuesdays that said, "Cure for AIDS, Bill Gates, do not open."
Well, that's pretty explicit right there. That's. And to think that the shame and the tragedy that he didn't share that with Cody, who later, of course, succumbed to the disease. It's really a sad day in history.
It's terrible, Cody was, as far as coworker chimps go, Cody was probably the only one I've ever had.
Yeah, that's probably accurate.
Mm-hmm.
He was a prodigy. Yeah, it just kind of gets me going just thinking about it. Not like I just got to. I don't cry often, but anytime an animal's involved, it just it's somehow more real. I don't know.
Chad, man, you got to calm down, man. I can't handle this emotional level from you. Just
strangle
take
the life out of men,
breath.
but once somebody hurts a ape,
think
not right.
Think about that. Just relax, man. Take a deep breath. Think about a poodle or something. I don't know, something that is sweet and nice. Nothing that's gonna stress you out, Chad. I can't be around that kind of energy. It's just not.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
not cohesive work environment here.
Yeah.
We're trying to get down to the truth. We don't need a cry fest here on. It's not cry-a-palooza, Chad. This is not about
sometimes the truth hurts, Vadim.
you. Yeah, sometimes the truth hurts, but it's not about you, Chad. Just like all your ex-girlfriends say.
It was. They said it was them. It wasn't my fault.
That's not true. For sure, that's not true. For sure, you're making that shit up.
They said it's me. It's not you.
Yeah.
Chad.
That sounds like something you tell yourself at night before you try to go sleep.
That's what they told me. It's their words, not mine.
We can make up all the stories we can make up.
Yeah.
That's fine. Whatever you need to do to deal, just don't start cracking on me, crying on
I'm
air.
not cracking. I'm holding it.
This is an important time. These people need to know about this monster.
Yeah.
Stealing from the cookie jar at work, smelling to high heaven, like a dirty hippie,
Injecting everyone.
like old wetsuit,
That he
injecting
can.
everyone, just jumping out and being funded by the Rockefellers, taking out that loan after the Harvard thing. I mean, man, I'm telling you, you don't fuck with the Rockefellers because
Yeah.
you take that money, they are coming to kneecap you if you don't pay it back every cent. They were Epsteining people before it was cool.
Yeah. Now I'm glad that you brought up Epstein because I'm gonna put up here a picture of Bill Gates with none other than Jeff Epstein. Now, while you were working at Microsoft, Kelvin, did you ever run across Jeffrey Epstein coming in there?
Oh yeah, he was always there. He was always, God, calling us into like meetings and stuff, and we're like, you don't even work here. You're just our boss's friend. Yeah, God, he was always there, man. What a creep.
Like what sort of meetings would he have with you guys at Microsoft? It seems kind of strange.
Just stuff about like, setting up like a home computer in his private island, and it's like, this isn't really worth our time, but he just, he wanted to have the best people, and so, you had me and Cody, set up his computer for him. It was crazy.
Did you fly out to the island? Did you fly to Epstein's Island on the Lolita Express?
No, I didn't get to fly out to the island because I have a fear of flying. But Cody went, and he came back different. His energy definitely changed. It was darker.
Did he ever talk about it? I mean, in whatever way that.
Well,
he
Like
could.
did he do charades about it or touch a doll on a part of a doll?
he
or
would
something?
sign about it. That's how Cody talked.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did like a loose like charades, and it was just like horrible, unspeakable stuff. Cody didn't really like to talk about it, but every now and then, on the 4th of July, which was Cody's favorite holiday, he would kind of open up about it, and it seemed just incredibly messed up. Just so, but we didn't see him much after then. He didn't come by Microsoft that much, so. And then, it's hard to say. It's very hard to say.
Now, I mean, obviously we probably should have opened with this, but I wanted to lay the groundwork, get the backstory, because we're sitting in the middle of the worst pandemic perhaps ever known to man. I mean, I know the Spanish flu was pretty bad, but this is a little bit. It's just as pernicious, right? And now, my understanding is that Bill Gates had created this disease in conjunction with some other players who honestly remain unknown, and said it unleashed in Wuhan province back in late last fall. Now, while you were working at Microsoft as a programmer, did he have you programming any sort of like genetic information or anything that might be kind of weaponized into the form of a virus?
Yeah, I'm not proud to say it, but I did a lot of programming behind this specific virus, and I think It's really a testament to my effectiveness as a programmer. You know,
I don't
haven't
know.
been able to crack it yet.
I don't know that you want to
That's
be
all
like
me.
smug about this. You're responsible for thousands, if not millions, of deaths.
Well, I don't know about that. Have you read the news? That's all anyone's talking about, and that's my handiwork.
Yeah.
Are you bragging about
You
this?
got me there.
You're bragging about this.
You're bragging. You're coming on here, you're snitching, bragging, beating your chest about this. Live on YouTube.
Really, I would have thought. I really thought the Russian would have liked this. I really thought the Russian would have had my back on this.
Hey, just because I'm from another country doesn't make me a piece of shit. You know, I'm not an awful human being just because I kill a few men, you know, and I hate your country. And I think you guys are a big hypocrite. But, you know, I'm stuck here now. What am I going to do? There's nothing I can do. Here I am. I'm here with Chad. I don't want to be here with Chad.
I don't want you to be here with Chad.
Yeah, nobody like this. But here I am with you, and here you are, bragging about putting work in on this. Why now, snitch? Instead of being proud and banging chest about it after it's all said and done, where were you like a few months ago, buddy, before you left? And how much money did you get, by the way, when you left?
Well, I got paid in stock options, so that's pretty good. And then I went on vacation. I went apple picking in Vermont.
Well, that sounds really nice, doesn't it?
Yeah,
Apple
I've never been.
picking, huh?
Apple picking.
It's delightful.
To boost your immune system. And yet, I bet you probably use a Mac too, don't you? You're probably an Apple user. You're probably a double-faced turncoat snitch braggart, aren't you?
This guy's a
Kelvin,
two-faced double
Finnick.
agent named Kelvin. I can't believe we were fooled.
I'll tell you what I use. A little thing I like to call a TI-83 Texas Instruments calculator.
Yeah, but you have one in your front pocket, protected, with a pocket protector.
Of course I do. That thing was like $130.
You're a psycho, buddy.
You gotta take care of it.
You
Are
should be.
kidding me?
You should be the one getting all this shame.
Now, Calvin, you can have a chance to kind of redeem your hero status here. Is there any sort of a fail-safe mechanism in the programming of the COVID virus? Any sort of backdoors?
Oh yeah, there is. Actually, if you it's pretty ingenious actually, but it's a very easy way to get cured from it is you have to sit down and you have to transcribe. Well, first you have to watch the movie You, Me, and Dupree, okay? And you have to transcribe all the dialogue, and then take the 8th word, every 8 words, put that together, and that's going to give you a map. And that map will lead you to a place that holds the cure.
That
It's
sounds
very
worse
simple.
than getting
I don't know
sick.
why people are acting.
That sounds terrible. That sounds like absolute torture.
That sounds incredibly stupid.
God.
You designed that?
You know, absolutely. It's it's a fun movie when you get down to it. And here's the thing, I'm fine. I don't have to worry about it. Everyone else could be fine too, but everyone's all uppity because they don't want to spend an hour and a half watching a delightful comedy.
What? No, nobody wants to watch that shit. Yeah, everybody knows that's just absolute garbage, consumerist propaganda trash. And you're proud. You're a very disappointing specimen, my friend. I'm not too happy about this interview. It's turned into something where
I'm just saying
you can't trust Bill Gates. You can't trust any of the people around him either, because look at what kind of birds of feather flock together. I'll say that.
Yeah.
Out there with the Jeffrey
Just
Epsteins.
because it rhymes
and
doesn't make it true, though.
Just say that again.
Just because it rhymes doesn't make it true.
It makes it kind of compelling.
It makes it more true. It's the Occam's razor. Most things are going to be simple and they will rhyme.
It's memorable, right?
Very memorable. It's very memorable. Well, agree to disagree then.
Well, I disagree.
Well, I disagree with you disagreeing. All right, we don't like it. Okay, buddy. You need to be. You are not the whistleblower. You are braggart.
Yeah. You're the horn blower.
You're the worst. Yeah, you're the horn. Yeah, that's a good one, Chad. That's a
blowing, tooting your own horn.
Yeah, doing that, and that is messed up, buddy. That is not cool. And I tell you what, I don't have a country affiliation, but if I ever see you, I'm gonna snap at that neck. I'm gonna snap you like a twig. You and all that crazy autistic shot you get in your neck from Bill Gates. And I will make you forget everything that ever happened to you up until that point. You will just black out. Done.
So you're not going to subscribe to my Patreon then?
Well, no, but if we did say that if you want to plug something, you can plug something. So, do you want to plug something?
Yeah, sure. I have a Patreon. If you go to it, I'll tell you in detail where the cure is, so that way you don't have to watch Yumi and Dupree if you don't want to.
How much is the Patreon?
It's $100, but I have a payment plan where you can make a $1 payment over 100 years.
Just $1?
$1 a year for 100 years. I think that's fair.
Seems pretty reasonable
to me. That's fair. That's the most reasonable thing.
You should have just let off with that instead of going all the whole me, you, and Dupree shit. You should.
Well, it's not a press release, so
well,
I was there.
Well, we don't really. We on the road. We only can set up for 1 hour, so. I don't know why I'm apologizing to you. You're kind of a shitbag. Snitch. It's
okay. Apology accepted.
No apologies. I'm not. I rescind apology. No apology there.
No, you can't rescind it once it's out there.
No, there's no. You cannot triple stamp, double stamp. That's not.
All right, we're getting another caller in here. Hang on 1 second. I'll patch them. Really caller, you're on the National Conspirator.
1 hour, so.
Oh, hi. Hi there. Am I on the air?
You're on the air.
I am, but I don't hear myself.
Well, you gotta listen through the phone. You can't listen through the stream.
Oh. Well, bless your heart. Aren't you a sweetheart? Now, I'm calling because I heard you fellas were talking about the Bill Gates and the computers, and I was just wondering if you could help me turn on my PC here. Now, I've been looking at it, and now I'm a little afraid it's going to give me the COVID.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, according to the former caller, it might give you the COVID. Kelvin here used to program these computers. Kelvin, can you help this lady out?
Please, I can.
Kelvin, please.
If she wouldn't mind subscribing to my Patreon, then I would be more than happy to. So it's very simple to do that. Just go ahead and read your credit card number out to me right now.
Okay, sure. Let me just get my pocketbook, Shug. All right.
Wait a second, lady, please don't do this. He's scamming you out of money.
What? No, I am not.
This guy is a charlatan. This guy is a snake oil salesman of the worst kind.
Who are you? With the accent, should I trust you?
Well,
I don't even know. Oh.
You are lucky I'm here, honestly, because should you trust me? No, you shouldn't, because I couldn't care less about any of you people. But then that I have the most objective opinion here, and I don't like this guy. He's bragging about creating virus, and he's getting stabbed by Bill Gates and running, beating his chest. He's not a good person. He's trying to take your money on the air where other people can just, we need this.
This is word. Yeah, he does not sound trustworthy. Okay, you're right there.
Yeah, well, ma'am, have you tried pushing? There's a button with a circle and like a line through the circle, and normally that button.
I see it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh my God! Would you look at that? It's blue blazing up. Oh my God, what a nice young man you are.
Absolutely.
And I've seen that, You, Me, and Dupree. I liked it. I thought that was a real nice movie.
Yeah, it's a good movie. It's fun, right?
I think I'm going to watch it right now on my PC.
Well, ma'am, I'm glad that we could help you, and be sure to tune in next time.
All right, Shug. Now, good luck with your show. All right.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, lady. I'm sorry to tell you, you just got sick. Push that button, you get sick. We learned it earlier, and this guy was like trying to cover his ass. No, that's not how it works. And we know it is. Just because you make the virus doesn't mean you don't want some cover stories out there, buddy. I'm going to find you, pal. I'm coming after you. Hard. I'm talking to you.
Okay, yeah. Hey, whenever you want to meet up, that's fine. Just do me a favor and bring some popcorn for when we watch You, Me, and Dupree.
I'll bring some popcorn for when I'm standing on your head on the side of a curb, bud. That's what's going to happen. It's not going to be pretty.
Why would you need popcorn for that?
For me.
Why do you need a snack then if you're hurting someone?
I'm going to enjoy it.
That sounds kind of nice.
Doesn't that sound nice, Chad?
It's like the nicest thing that... trust me, Kelvin, coming from Vadim, that's like... It's almost a compliment.
Hey, maybe we could go together, me and you, Chad. I haven't done anything like that.
I don't hang out with nerds.
Well, no, I didn't want to really. I was just being nice. After I got you out of prison last week, I thought maybe we could try to bond, but that's stupid. I now hear how stupid that sounds now that it comes out of my mouth.
You owed me anyway, so we're even now.
Yeah, well, I'm not so sure. That's not how I saw it, but... You're out of prison. You're welcome. That's all I hear is you're welcome. Thank you, Vadim. That's what I hear.
Yeah, good. Well,
thank you,
glad
Vadim.
Glad that somebody
You're welcome, Chad.
it. Yeah,
you're welcome.
Yeah.
And you, I'm coming for you.
Kelvin,
tracking your phone now, Kelvin.
Any final thoughts?
Any
on this,
last words, Kelvin?
This whole Bill Gates situation before we leave today.
Yeah, I mean, just take everything I said to heart, and if you guys don't have any definite plans, we should definitely lock down some plans or something and hang out.
Yep, we're gonna have a field day with you, or I am, I should say.
Yeah, I think Vadim wants to hurt you.
We're gonna open you up and see what kind of candy you got inside your piñata. I know.
Okay, well that sounds great. Just hit me up. You can find me on Patreon. That's pretty easy.
You got Twitter?
No, I don't. I don't get Twitter on the old Texas Instruments.
No. Okay. Well, I find you on Facebook.
No.
No Facebook?
I don't get Facebook on the old Texas Instruments. No. I get
MySpace.
Nope. I play a lot of Snake though. You ever played Snake?
I don't think so.
You would love Snake.
I had a friend named Jake the Snake. Great guy. Loved that guy.
Nah, I don't know about that. He doesn't sound that cool.
He wound up in a bowl of soup in China. No pandemic there. Listen, I'm coming to find you, and we're gonna wrap this show up because we only got an hour. We got to get out of here. They will track our signal, and we are kaputs. Done. Like a potato in sack, ready to take home, throw on the cabinet, throw underneath, and forget about for months. Just stuck in the dark. In a damn dirty cell, yelling with the screaming in the bars and the yelling, and oh God, Guantanamo is the worst. Jesus Christ, I can't.
Oh, sure.
We got to get out of here.
Well, Kelvin, thank you for calling in. We appreciate it. And listener, remember, there's something they aren't telling you, and you know who they are. Call us. We'll corroborate it. Until next time, I've been Chad Bowery, the National Conspirator. Guys, thank you for listening tonight. This was The National Conspirator, brought to you by the Flying Squid Comedy. Check out more from where that came from at flyingsquidcomedy.com. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Check us out on Twitch, which we're trying out just in the past couple of days. Please leave your feedback and keep listening. We'd love to hear more from you, and talk to you next time. Bye-bye.